All right. So this is the final website assignment. It should be in the the last module in our list. We will be doing critiques of the website and your storyboards next, I guess, Monday, a week from Monday, on May 14th at 8 a.m. in the morning. If you are not here on 8 a.m., you are going to lose buku critique points. So please, everybody be prompt at 8 a.m. We only have 8 to 10 to do all this. So we are going to start with or without you. If you are not there at 8, your materials will not be included in the day's critique. So, for the final website, we should all by now have our GitHub accounts. We kind of did a lot of today's lesson once in class already, and there's another screen capture for it. We all made GitHub pages, and we all saw how to upload material to that GitHub page. The GitHub page link, which I will show by the end of this lecture, will be what you submit for your final website assignment. Once you are looking at your web page on the screen, then copy that URL and paste it in the submission. I think it should say that somewhere on here. Yeah, a website URL. So when you're looking at your website, whatever it says in here is what you want to copy to me. Now, I don't care if you host it on GitHub or not. GitHub is just free and not scammy, and that's why I'm advertising it to you guys to host on. If you guys already have a web presence, if you have any other web domain, you are welcome to use that. If you already have purchased a web domain, I think I said the wrong thing there. If you have other web hosting, you're welcome to use that. If you already have a web domain, I can teach you individually how to link that domain to a GitHub page or any other web hosting. If you want to buy, it's usually about $10 a year, but you can probably find cheaper or more expensive, depending on the domain name. I listed 2 domain registrars here. If you go to, let's say, Namecheap.com, Command-C, opening a new tab, Command-T, and Command-V to paste, Namecheap.com. You can search your name. So I'm just going to Jeffrey Gangwish, or Jeffrey Gangwish. There we go. Search. And it looks like I could buy jeffreygangwish.org for $10 a year, or jeffreygangwish.us for 88 cents a year. Yeah, so you can just buy a domain name, and then this one looks, jeffreygangwish.gg would cost me $70 a year. So it's all about what suffixes mean what and what countries they're in. And so like one country has like .tv as their country's internet suffix. We have .us. So my own website is jeffrey.gangwish.us. Com usually means for-profit company. Org, I think, is legally mandated to be a non-profit company. .edu is for educational institutions. .gov is only for government institutions. So if you're trying to buy some country's country code for a cool reason, like it's .tv and you're a TV network, then the registrar might cost you more because they need to go through more legal hoops to make that okay. That is my very layman's imagination on why the reason is. The actual reason may be something very different. So yeah, like .tube is $26 a year. So anyway, the more specialized ones can cost more. TV is $32 a year. Anyway, if you buy one of these on your own, you do not have to for the assignment at all. You just may wish to for your own careers moving forward. I would be more than happy. I'm not going to walk you through the buying process. I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. I'm not recommending Namecheap.com or Google.com. These were just the first, when I looked at a forum that I looked to for advice, these were the first 2 on the list for trusted domain registrars. If you Google free domain registration, you will come up with a lot of listings, and you will give all of your personal information and credit cards to somebody on the internet, and they will probably still own the domain name that you bought. So like this is a kind of scammy universe. You can find them for free, but that always seems scammy to me, and you don't own it at the end of it. Whatever institution you put your information into owns it. So I would, if you are wanting your own domain name, I would recommend buying it, and I would recommend doing a little research to make sure it's a trustworthy source first. So, yeah, not at all necessary, just you're invited to. And if you do that, I would be very happy on Monday to walk you through the process of tying that to your GitHub page so that you, instead of typing in whatever username.github.io/repository name, you can just type in myname.com and it will go there. So. Final website. So we have our website folder here. I am going to create a new file in brackets, file new. I'm going to call this, I'm going to save this as file save as, and I'm going to save it in that website folder, which I put on my desktop. My website is here, and not in the images folder, just next to the images folder. I'm going to call it index.html. As we discussed last class, that index.html is super important. That is the file name that any website goes to in its directory. So, save. Great. And we should have done most of this in the last class. So, index.html, next to an images folder. I then recommend this template. You can use whatever HTML5 template you have, or whatever you want to. If you want to pay Wix.com to make your own professional portfolio, that's fine. I'm showing you one free way to do it. Whatever you guys want to do to create a portfolio for this class is just fine. So Command V. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Over here, Command V. There we go. So that link in the final assignment will take you to this WYSIWYG where you can type and try and see what comes up. I want you guys to just copy all of this text. Command A will select everything there. Command C will copy it and then paste it over here in brackets. And then File, Save. So now this index.html is saved over in your website. And when you right-click, open with, I'm going to open with Firefox, we'll see that it comes in right over here. Now you'll see that this doesn't look anything like your website over here, but that's just because it's missing all of the pictures. So we need to go in and change all of that information. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pictures here, a little bit of description, a contact sheet, and a name. So, looking at here, coming over here. So, just going to walk through this step by step. Here is where all of the photos are. The image source is what actually points to our picture. The alt text is what comes up when you hover over an image. It's mainly for disabled software stuff, but it is really useful. And I would like you guys to put the title of the assignment in your alt text. So, and then class refers up to our CSS stuff happening at the top. Where is our class definition? Curious. So I'm new to this template myself. I may need to figure out some stuff like that about that myself. Don't believe it is linking to a style sheet. So we do need this style sheet. This is going to be super important, and I'll post a different link to it on the website. So, boop, 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 boop. Cool. So this is our style sheet. We need to save this as w3.css. So I'm going to create a new folder here, file, new file here. I'm going to copy all this, Command C, Command V. Excellent. And then, yeah? I will show you in a moment.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all right. It's just this link up here is linking to this style sheet. And I'll bet that we can even just download that style sheet, which would probably keep its formatting. If I go here, and then File, Save Page As, W3 style sheet, yeah, I'll bet this will work. So if when you highlight this link, and then it'll copy it over here, it'll come up like a bunch of gibberish, and you File, Save, and Save Page As, File, Save Page As, and then it downloaded this into my Downloads folder here. That's my CSS file. So I'm going to drag that over into brackets, and yeah, it saved a bit more formatting. Anyway, this CSS needs to, I'll bet it's even just linking to W3 CSS Online. It is, of course, just linking W3 CSS Online. So this index is talking to something a file that's hosted on the W3 website, which is how we were even able to get to it. That means that if the W3 website ever goes down, your own website is going to crash. So you still want to go through this rigmarole to download that CSS file and put it in your folder. So I've got it here in my downloads. I've got my website folder here, and I'm going to drag this over here. So, doop doop. And then I'm going to close this file that I am not using anymore. Don't save that. Don't save this. Cool. So now I just have my index.html. And then I'm going to drag my W3 CS over here to see that. So. The class of these images is W3 image. So if we go over here to W3 CSS, we can see the W3 image. Here's our class. It gives it a max width of 100, an automatic height, aligns it to the middle, and inherits its background color. So those are how you can see what properties are affecting whatever class in images. I don't expect you guys to know much of what that means, but know that because you can find it now, you know how to Google it and you know how to change it. So when you're working on your own, anything that says class or ID, look for in this W3.css list, and then Google what those properties are. And if you want to change them, like change the background color or something, that's where you can add it. And I can help you do that, or you can just Google. Back here. So now I want to change this href to where it actually is. I think I actually want to change this to source, src. And I want it to be just where, because hyperlink, href is a hyperlink reference. It links to somewhere on the internet. A source is within our website folder. So I want to change this to just that, because that's all it is. It's in the same directory, and that should read. So I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to just save and refresh. So file, save my brackets document, and then refresh this, and no, I've completely lost my CSS. So I'm going to undo that and figure out a better way to do that in a second off camera. For the moment, I'm just going to leave it linked here to save our formatting, because I did some minor error that I don't want to troubleshoot or debug and waste class time and video time. So Command S, refresh. That is not working. What is happening? File, save. That was a mistake. And that is really funny. I have no idea how I broke the link. Oh, it still says source. Goodness. href. Anyway. So now it's still linking to the internet, which is a problem. I'm going to fix that in a minute, and I'll post my solution. So. If we go down the list, so our title, immediately, our title is what shows up here. We can see that right now it says w3.css template. We probably don't want it to say that for our final grade. So I'm just going to put Jeffrey L. Gangwish portfolio. Command S, and then refresh. And now we can see that up here it says Jeffrey L. Gangwish portfolio. So the next thing down the list, this information doesn't seem to be showing up because there's no space for it. I'll bet it's hidden behind here or up here somewhere. So the first thing I am going to do are just add my photos. So I'm just going to go over here and look at my image names. I'm going to name them to something that makes sense. A1 JPG, A2 JPG, A3 PNG, A4 PNG, and I won't use this one. What even is that? Oh, I have two profile pictures here that I was going to use for one of the first ones. So I'll delete, just say maybe on this one to remind me of what that is. A2 is my cover, and then I will change these. A5, A6. So in our original photo, the first picture was not an assignment. You guys can make it an assignment, whatever you want, but it's whatever goes behind your name. So I chose this cover photo of a show I did. So back here in our, I'm just going to Command F. So these are the portfolio images, and I want the first image. So I'm going to Command F for image. And yep, it looks like it's up here is the first one. So photographer.jpg. So we have our folder is called images, not W3 images. So I need to delete the W3, and then the picture I want to use is A2.jpg. So A2. The alt text, when I hover over it, it'll say me, and it's going to reshape it to this size, which is probably not what I want, but I'm going to just start with the default sizes and then refigure everything. Command save, and then refresh over here. That didn't work. I think I don't need this slash. Oh, my folder is called images. What is happening? A2.jpg. It's really bizarre. That's not happening.
Did you do Command save after you changed the slash?
I did. I thought I did anyway. Wouldn't that be funny? Nope, I didn't, apparently. So no first slash, just images slash a2.jpg. And look at that. Already it's looking a lot better. Now my name is not Jane Doe, so I gotta figure out where that is. So I see it here, but if I didn't see it here, I could Command F, Jane Doe. And then there it is. It's showing up once as one header and once as a different kind of header. So I probably want to change both, even though I only see one. One might be for like a mobile thing. I don't, off the top of my head, know what white space now wrap means, or no wrap. So I'm just going to change both to Jeffrey, and I'm going to keep it all caps, because that's how the template is. Jeffrey L. Gangwish. Jeffrey L. Gangwish. And because this is a digital design class, you guys can put whatever makes sense for your own professional pitch. But because this is a digital design class, I'm going to put digital designer. There we go. And then Command S, refresh, and boom, there it is. Doesn't say the designer part. I wonder why. I wonder if that only comes up. Yep, if it's a certain height, it comes up. So there it is there. You can see it doesn't really work with my picture, so I might need to put like a black background on this, but I can worry about that later.
Can you move that down so it's not across the middle?
Yeah, you can do anything. It's just a matter of figuring out how, which is going to be so individualized that I'm not going to show class. I'm only just going to show the basic plug-in information in. And if your design, like we're going to critique your design, and I want you guys to make the design what you want, but so long as you've fixed all the things in the template to be personal, that's what's really important for your grade. So long as it doesn't say W3CS template up here, that's going to be important for your grade. If you were not able to figure out how to position a div very specifically in your website, that's web design stuff. You should go into a web design class for that. We're just doing real basic stuff here. I'm still very happy to help you, especially if you come in on Monday. But anyway. So just gonna plug in my last few pictures. So we know that I need to delete that on each of these. And then it's 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then note that only these are all PNGs, not JPEG. So I need to change the ending here from JPEG to PNG. 2 through 6. So A2, oh, still caps, A2, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, and then change all these to PNG. Oh, no, I only want, actually, Command Z. I don't want this one. So I only want 4 in my list right now, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'm just going to delete this image. It's important to get from the beginning tag to the end of the tag to delete the whole thing. Boom. Now I'm going to have one fewer picture. One less picture. So anyway. Doop, 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 doop. I'm just leaving all of the width and height. Not going to worry about that right now. But I'll show you how to worry about it in a moment. And then I'm going to keep going down this contact information. So, I'm in Baltimore. Email me. Great. Doop, doop, doop. These are contact stuff. That's all great. You can see that this is powered, this powered by is happening down here. So this advertises where we got it. We may or may not want that. If you want to get rid of that, you can just delete that. Right now, our button stuff is not doing anything. We may just want to delete this contact information altogether. In fact, because I don't know off the top of my head, and don't expect you to either, how to actually get this to email you whatever message is put in, probably best just to delete it. So just copy everything from the form to the end of the form. This is the open form tag. This is the close form tag. So I'm just going to delete the form. I am still going to keep this paragraph business, but I'm going to change it to biography. I'm going to say, I went to AACC and learned everything I know.
So far.
There is to know about design. Great. Probably don't put that on anything professional or ever claim to be an expert anywhere you are in life. But anyway, Command S, there we go. And then refresh. And now I have a biography. I still don't have my pictures. Oh, because I did not change these to PNG. 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 PNG.
So you just change everything to PNG right in there?
Yep, this is just linking to the file that's here. So if this is PNG, then whatever you're putting here needs to be PNG.
Oh, okay. So whatever the file name is, that's...
Exactly. You're not changing the file type. You're just telling it how to find the file you're telling it to find. If you need to change the file type, you would need to open it in Photoshop or something and resave it. So now I'm going to refresh. Oh, I'm going to save and refresh. There we go. So now I can see some stuff. Now these are all really big and different sizes. So I just grabbed some of your assignments from the year and popped them in here because I knew they'd all be different shapes and sizes. It's funny that these guys are all the same.
They're all the same assignment.
Yeah. And this one is not fitting in with the others. They are all this. Two of them are the same
They're all
assignment.
the same assignment.
Well, anyway. So you would probably want to change the alt text to be typography assignment 1. Or down here, storyboard assignment. I'm not going to do all of these. And if, like, this one's really big, maybe you want these two next to each other. That's not, like, laying them out on the page is something we should really focus on individually, because it's going to be so individual. But you can do whatever makes sense and whatever you want to do. It is curious to me that this bottom one is not stretching out. I would have thought it would. But I wonder if that would change. Nope, didn't. That's fine. If you right-click any given file and say Get Info, you should see, it's not going to show you. If you open any given file into Preview and go to Tools, Show Inspector, you'll see exactly how big it is. So this is 1638 by 1523 pixels, which is a weird file size. So we can right-click Open with Photoshop to change anything we want to any size we want. We can also just do it straight in Preview, actually. But I'm used to using Windows, so I don't have Preview. And the tools for this are kind of awful in Preview. So this is kind of a weird shape for it to have opened, which means that there's probably, this is because we exported the storyboard as we exported the storyboard without the artboards in this case. So it kept a lot of weird spatial data in our PNG. And this is why it's not aligning to the rest of it. So I'll bet that if we just cropped the image for starters, then it would automatically match. But I'm going to go one step further and go to Image, Image Size, Pixels, and then over here in our document, we can see that it's shaping them to be 1,000 wide by, it was 500 tall. 500 tall. Which is curious because they're all over 500 tall, but that's fine. Not thinking too hard about that. So I'm going to make them 1,000 wide, and then it's going to stay 1,500 tall. I do need to resample pixels. Nope, I do not need to resample. I'm just changing pixel numbers. Huh. Yeah, it's not going to let me. So I'm going to keep it at 72 pixels, 1,000. Okay, cool. So effectively no change. Just change the file size to be something a little more even. Then I'm going to save. It did let me just save right over the PNG, which is great. Sometimes you'll need to save a new file. And now when I go back here and refresh, I don't need to resave this because I didn't make any changes to this. This file changed. So now when I reload it, it's going to load in the new file, and there we can see it matches better because I deleted the extraneous invisible spatial data. Yep. There we go. Portfolio will take you down there. Home, contact links you down there. So this contact is no longer linking to something called contact. It's linking to something called biography. So that's the last change it looks like I need to make here. I don't like having a home button because the home button just brings you back up here. If you had many pages, then a home button would make sense. If you were replicating this header across many pages, a home button would make sense. But if you're just making a single page portfolio like this, then it doesn't make sense. So I'm going to delete that home and make a, so here's the home button. I'm just going to delete that. And then the contact, I'm going to change to biography. Now, this contact is leading to a style guide over here in the W3 CSS. I don't want to change that because then I would need to go and find that in here in W3 CSS. So I'm fine faking it. It's in the source code. Doesn't really matter. If you want to be a stickler about things, you probably should change it. And if you're ever going to develop this later, it would become confusing not to have that be consistent. But just for this, I'm just going to change the word to biography. I'm going to Control Save and then refresh. And there we go. Now I can go straight to the biography or the portfolio. So that's how you update this template to be a modest portfolio website. There are obvious problems with this layout. It's not the best design, but we are not able to focus too heavily on this. My main goal is just that you are becoming familiar with it. I'm really, really happy to help you get it looking the way you want it to look, and especially if you come in on Monday during the optional class time. So thank you all very much. I will now answer any questions you guys have. Grace?
I still can't get my images up.
Cool. I'll come by and help you.
I asked you from the very beginning.
Yeah. I'll come around to each person. Does anybody have any questions about anything I said other than just individual help? Great. Cool. Thank you all very much for your time and attention.